here to say who won it from the jump. We came to get exactly what you want. Came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we live, you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Yerrr.
Yerrr.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is the soul of R&B. No, that's not who I am. I am not Big Baby. It is the Yerrr Sports Show tonight. Yerrr Sports Show After Dark, alongside the Queen, 10K Tay, Queen Tay to my right.
First of all,
Tay,
I don't
how
hear
you
from
been?
you. I don't hear from you in weeks, and then you want to make me 10K Tay. It was 25K Tay. So not only
I can't keep up with your bankroll. You know what? I'm behind.
You know, not only did you show that you know I've been in distress for the past few weeks, and you have not reached out to me at all, the only one, and then you're going to devalue me on live television.
Well, I listen. I can't keep up with your bankroll, and I do apologize. I have been a little bit disconnected from a lot in terms of like knowing what's really going on and keeping in contact with people, and that's on me. That is on me. But I do apologize. You know, I love you, Tay. We'll talk after the show, and I'll get an update on you, and we'll see what's up. See who I got to beat up and who I got to take care of. Who got to go missing in a black bag somewhere.
It's too late. Shout out to the NYPD.
There we go. And at the bottom of the pyramid, is the only man who did not sign an R&B record deal in the 90s.
Oh shit!
BK Matt. Matt was good.
I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm pretty good. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm still here. Got my babies downstairs. I'm real good.
There we go. Unfortunately, Big Baby not with us tonight, taking care of some things. The man's a working man, too busy and tired to be with us tonight. But we are still here to Yerrr Sports Show, live in living color on all social media platforms and soon to be on all your streaming platforms once this is cut up and goes out. But ladies and gentlemen, let's start hot and heavy. Let's start hot and heavy with the NFL, just like free agency has started hot and heavy. And Tay, Matt, I got to ask you, we've had so many moves, and I'll quickly run through some of the highlights that we've seen so far. I got to ask you, what's the biggest move you've seen? So let's quickly go through what we've had.
Not him on YouTube and not on the show.
Right. That's why I didn't even give it no. I didn't give it no nothing. Well, you know, Trey, you didn't give me no notes. You know, you don't give me no notes. I can't keep track of Tay's bankroll, right? I don't know. For all I know, Tay could be 50K Tay for right now. I don't know. You know, I don't count Tay's money. But let's get to it. Breaking news that went live right before we went live.
Hold up.
We thought the Steelers had found their quarterback. The Steelers signed Russell Wilson earlier in the week. That was a big change of scenery from Denver to Pittsburgh. But then today we find out, just literally 20 minutes ago before we went live, that the Steelers have also traded a 2025 conditional 6th-round pick to the Chicago Bears for quarterback Justin Fields. Now, it is a conditional 6th-round pick, meaning that it can change. It will change to a 4th-rounder if Justin Fields plays 51% or more of the snaps this season. But it's very interesting, Matt, because the main story right now coming out of Pittsburgh is that Justin Fields will not compete with Russell Wilson for the starting job.
You and me both know that's me and you both know that's cap. Me and you both know that's cap. I mean, we spoke a little bit on it. He might not be fighting Russell for it, but I feel like it's a condition or it's like a backup plan in case, you know, Russell starts shit in the bed. Personally, I think Russell Wilson might be scarred from his recent, you know, his recent location, because that didn't end well, and there was too many rumors coming out of Denver. I just feel like his reputation might be a little bit scarred. Granted, they got Russell Wilson on the cheap because Denver still owes him $37 million. So I mean, I don't know. Is that correct? They got him to see if Russell is really trying. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was saying. I feel like they wanted. It's just to test the waters to see if everything that they were saying in Denver is true, or he just didn't fit in, with Peyton. I feel like that's pretty much the gist of everything that's going on. I don't know how you bench Justin Fields. I'm happy for Justin Fields. He got out of Chicago.
I mean, I'm happy for both of them. I mean, you got two quarterbacks. Justin Fields knows that he's in a situation that he could be a long-time starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson only signed a 1-year deal. Russell Wilson only signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers. I think it's a backup plan, not so much for this season. Listen, we saw Tomlin make the playoffs with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. I think it's entirely possible that he can make the playoffs with Russell Wilson at the helm. And then knowing that you're able to move on to Justin Fields right after that is incredible. Tay, what do you think? 20 minutes before we go live, the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Justin Fields only a couple of days after they announced the signing of Russell Wilson.
I think it's a good move. I think given the fact that they got Russell Wilson for such a cheap price, it allowed them to have an additional $15 million in cap space to make some decent moves. And as you guys have both noted, we've seen Mike Tomlin turn shit into Thanksgiving dinner for the Pittsburgh Steelers for over the past 10, 12 years. I mean, he had an aging Ben Roethlisberger who wasn't really mobile towards the end of his career. And I feel like Matt and like you both said, this could be a really good test to see if it was the Broncos or if it was Russell Wilson. And to be honest with you, I'm leaning more towards it being the Broncos because the Pittsburgh Steelers are known for good defense. And the Seattle Seahawks is known for good defense. I feel like the Denver Broncos, they didn't want to give Russ the keys to the kingdom. They baited it in front of him, and I believe that this is a better fit. And I feel like Justin Fields had no chance in hell of making any moves of note on the Chicago Bears, and they're in a constant state of rebuilding. I do see, and I could call it like you both said, Tomlin can take these guys to the playoffs with almost nothing because of his coaching style. And Justin Fields is a great backup option. And I think he can stand to learn something from Russell Wilson, who's a longtime veteran in the league. Regardless of if his productivity has waned over the past few years, you still can't deny the fact that this guy, has been to the mountaintop a couple of times.
A 9-time Pro Bowler, 2 times in the Super Bowl. I mean, there's really not many quarterbacks that, it's interesting. Justin Fields, the first-round pick, it's very interesting that he's willing to learn behind Russell Wilson. Again, team sources say that there is no expectation for Justin Fields to compete with Russell Wilson for the starting job. Could this be the writing on the wall? Does Justin Fields, do the Pittsburgh Steelers kind of know something where they're like, hey, we're only doing 1 year with Russ. That's it. We don't expect Russ to be here more than 1 year. It's kind of like, I don't know. Matt's going to hate me for this one. Kind of like a safer Aaron Rodgers plan. Right? You get Russ, who is a proven commodity, but you sign him to a 1-year deal. You don't got to lose much to get him. Oh, and by the way, let's sign a competent first-round pick quarterback to be the backup so that we have a backup plan, not only if Russ gets injured or is ineffective, but moving forward when Russ leaves. Something that still have yet to do, knowing that my man Rodgers, for all we know, he might be vice president.
You got to relax.
Some other news of notes. Let's go to the quarterback rooms around the NFL. Kirk Cousins.
Really?
Kirk Cousins is no longer in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is going to have a VIP table at Magic City. Kirk Cousins is going to have a VIP table at Magic City in Atlanta, signing a 4-year, $180 million contract He not only got a $50 million signing bonus, but he gets $100 million in guaranteed money and an average annual salary of $45 million.
Can I just say that the most comical thing that I've seen all week was when they announced that Kirk Cousins was signed to the Falcons, and the thing was, can Kirk Cousins lead the Falcons to the Super Bowl? I'm just like,
No.
let's pump the brakes to here. Like let's give it a chance to put pen to paper. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings they were better with him than without him. I would say that. But geez, like, daddy chill. Like, give it a second.
But that money, Matt, $45 million a year. $45 million a year, $100 million in guaranteed money.
I don't fucking understand. Man, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't see what. Oh, shit.
And he's got a good team around him. He's got Kyle Pitts there. You've got some good players there, some good young players in Atlanta. You know who this really sucks for? This sucks for Justin Jefferson, who is now stuck in Minnesota as probably the best young wide receiver in the NFL with no quarterback to throw to him.
I'm just trying to understand how does Kirk Cousins keep getting these goddamn contracts. Just like I'm trying to understand how Joe Flacco keeps getting these contracts.
Speaking of Joe Flacco, that's another one. Joe Flacco got a 1-year deal to back up Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. Joe Flacco back in the NFL. I knew Matt would hate on that one. Talk about somebody getting some money. Baker Mayfield signed a $100 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to remain their starting quarterback.
That sounds ridiculous to me, but
would you rather give Baker $100 million or Cousins $100 million?
Kirk Cousins.
Some bullshit. I don't even understand why this is even. I don't get it. I don't like. It must be a drought for quarterbacks that these players are getting like $100 million contracts. Like,
and Colin Kaepernick still can't get a deal.
That's the fuck I'm talking about. I don't understand it. If there's really a drought in quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick needs a job. This ain't it. I'm trying to make it make sense. Make it make sense. Granted, Baker did pretty good in Tampa. He did pretty good. Took him to
the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let Baker
Kenny
cook.
Pickett also took Pittsburgh to the playoffs too. If you really want to go there.
No, stop that. Mike Tomlin took Pittsburgh to the playoffs.
Look. What is it going to say on the Wikipedia page? Kenny Pickett Smith. Well, whatever I said, Smith. I'm bugging. I gotta relax. Kenny Pickett made it to the playoffs his rookie season. That's all that's going to read. That's all it's going to say. I don't know what's going on in today's climate where the rookies are getting let go after their first year. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on in the NFL today. This is wild.
Some more quarterback news. Deshaun Watson's got a new backup as Jameis Winston is leaving New Orleans and going to Cleveland. Jameis Winston will now be the backup to Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. And listen, Jimmy G's got a job again. Jimmy G going to the Rams to be the backup to Matthew Stafford.
He should be starting in place of Stafford, if you ask me.
Ooh.
That'd be an interesting conversation. But you know, at least now they have a competent quarterback in case Stafford goes down. I mean, they got a good team. Puka Nacua really broke out this year. They still got the white sham god on their team. So they got some good moves over there.
Did you just call somebody white sham god? That's what you just did?
Yeah, I did.
You gotta
talk about some wide receivers moving. Calvin Ridley making a big splash after a year suspension from the NFL for gambling. Calvin Ridley going to the Tennessee Titans. The Bears trading for wide receiver Keenan Allen from the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Browns making a wide receiver trade, getting Jerry Jeudy from the Broncos. But the big news outside of the quarterbacks, I know this is weird because this is not a running back league anymore. We've talked about it many times on this show. The big move.
Got a ring. Stafford got them a ring. Who gives it at this point?
You know,
what do you say? What do you say, Matt? What do you say, Matt? The sun shines on the dog's ass once in a while.
Yeah, sun shines on the dog's ass once in a while.
But the big news with the running backs, man, and you know, not a running back league anymore. We've said about this many times on this show, but the running backs made some big splashes. Let's start on the low end of the totem. So Joe Mixon going to the Texans, giving that team a really good veteran running back. Aaron Jones got released from Green Bay after leading Green Bay to the as far as they went in the playoffs, but he did find a job in Minnesota almost immediately. Why? Because Green Bay signed former Raider running back Josh Jacobs to back up Jordan Love in Green Bay. Titans signed Tony Pollard. I know something that Matt was happy with. But let's talk about these two. Tay, Matt, here's the big question. Which one of these running back signings is going to have the biggest impact in 2025? The Eagles signing Saquon Barkley to a 3-year deal, taking away from NFC rival the Giants, or the Ravens signing Derrick Henry for 2 years, $16 million. Tay, Derrick Henry to the Ravens, Saquon to the Eagles. What's the bigger running back move?
I think Derrick Henry to the Ravens because they have a decent ground game. I think that he just makes it more explosive. Derrick Henry is nothing to play with. I'm a big Saquon Barkley fan, and I feel like he didn't get a fair shake in New York. I believe that they should have pulled out all the stops to keep him. They made the wrong decision. Is it the wrong decision? He's an aging running back, but I don't feel like Daniel Jones was. If you had to compare between Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, you would have got more bang on your buck for Saquon.
Matt, what do you got? Ravens and Derrick Henry, or Eagles and Saquon?
Oh, definitely Eagles and Saquon. Honestly, he's a combo runner back. Like, he can catch, he can run. Like, in all honesty, Jalen Hurts don't have to do much. He just got to put people in the right positions, which I feel like he could. I still feel like their defense took a step back last season, so that's what they really needed to work on.
Especially with Jason Kelce now retiring too.
Exactly. So I mean, if you're putting me on the spot right now, I'm saying the Eagles made a great addition to their offense, but I'm still a little worried about their defense. So
I agree.
Well,
I still think Derrick Henry as a Titan was way more like Saquon. What I didn't appreciate was that he wasn't able to really get going over the past 2 years because of injuries to him, injuries to Daniel Jones, injuries to this and that. So we have not really been able to see what Saquon could do at his full potential with a functional, offensive system. But I just wonder if this league, not being a run heavy, more of a pass heavy league at these times, like how does that impact them? But get your money and hopefully get your ring.
Have a better chance at it.
And both of them went to playoff teams,
huh?
But let me ask you this: we just saw Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens lose the AFC Championship game because Lamar couldn't do it all on his own.
Yeah.
If Derrick Henry had been on this Ravens team this year, does Lamar Jackson win that AFC Championship game?
No.
I think so.
I say no because that's their offensive coordinator and Lamar Jackson's fault. Lamar Jackson let the outside noise corrupt the game plan, and that's what ultimately fucked them up, because you wanted to prove that you can throw, and you need to do what got you to the dance and what made you this superstar and what made you the MVP, and that's make the correct plays and run the ball. Run the ball. Like,
the problem is they didn't have a running back. I mean, they didn't have a running back. Their best running back was, Justice Hill, Michael Keaton. Like, they didn't really have Keaton Mitchell, I should say. But like, they didn't really have.
Who had the most rushing yards on that team?
It was obviously their quarterback.
All right, then. That's what got them to the dance. That's what got him the MVP. You have to do what got you there. Yeah, you can have alternate plans and like to befuddle befuddle the defense, but still, if you can't be stopped, you can't be stopped. You gotta. It's not always the arm talent that
Was
gets you to
stopped,
the
and that's the problem. But the number one thing that we know with running backs in the NFL is that running the ball opens up the passing game. Running the ball opens up the passing game. If a team is afraid of the run, if they know that you can run the ball, they have to play up to respect the run, meaning that it opens up the passing game because you get more one-on-one coverage, which is where Lamar Jackson's going to excel. So Derrick Henry is a running back that is respected, right? He has run through teams. So now you have a player of Derrick Henry's caliber for Lamar to give the ball off to and keep the Chiefs defense from double teaming the wide receivers and from blitzing Lamar Jackson, because they have to respect that he can hand the ball off and Derrick Henry can peel off for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards on a run. I don't know if Saquon can do that. If there's one thing that Saquon still has a question mark about, is his health. And Saquon's great. From a running back perspective, from a talent perspective, Saquon is great. But there's questions about his health. You know, this year wasn't great for him. It wasn't great. Is he going to bounce back with the Eagles? No, go ahead, Say.
I'm going to ask y'all both a question. Whose offensive line is better, the Giants or the Eagles? That's all I'm saying.
Not any. Well, we can't even make that fair assumption anymore because there's so many changes now. And the Giants, I feel like they're in a constant state of rebuilding, so it's hard for me to compare them to anything. But I do think that even though the offensive line may be better, can be better on the Eagles, right? The thing is, not Lamar Jackson. Oh my God. Jalen Hurts, right?
Jalen Hurts.
He played a lot of that season hurt last year.
Yeah.
So, but even the productivity before then I wonder if his style of quarterbacking is conducive to successful running back plays. And I think they have to, in order for us to see Saquon be successful, like Pete said, we have to take the health into an account. He is old in running back years. Yeah. Even though, he's old in running back years. He is.
Yeah, he is.
He's old.
And he's had the injuries.
Yeah. And like I said, I want all the best for Saquon. I feel like he deserves to have a fair shake with a decent system and at one point with a Super Bowl contending team, according to you guys. I saw right through it from the beginning. But also, just getting back to the first question you said, Matt, if Derrick Henry is on the Baltimore Ravens, does the Chiefs beat them? They would not have. Yeah. The Chiefs were played sloppy, but they were ready for the Ravens. That's the problem. I don't put that fault on Lamar Jackson as much as I put it on the fact that this was his first real time at the dance, and you dancing against an expert. You're dancing against the defending champions. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was more of his game to win than Mahomes is to lose.
Yeah.
Is the issue. You get what I'm saying? So
and he didn't have enough weapons.
Yeah, and I feel like if you have to do it all yourself all the times, and, you know, the sad part about football is like it's any given Sunday. You know, if this was a best of 7 series or a best of 3 series like it is in basketball and baseball, you can have an off game. And I still don't feel like Lamar had the offense game. I just feel like they were ready. You get what I'm saying? The Chiefs were lucky more than the Ravens played bad.
Yeah, because that defense did what it was supposed to.
Right.
The Ravens defense did what it was supposed to.
But they didn't blow them out. But the Chiefs didn't. The Chiefs didn't blow them out. The Chiefs didn't go out there and drop a 40 spot
skated.
on them.
They barely won. They skated.
And that's what Tay's trying to say there, right? Like, if you have a player like Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson doesn't have to do it all. You know, you can give the ball to Derrick Henry. The Chiefs have to change their game plan. It's like going into a gunfight and your gun's not fully loaded, but the other team's is.
Got that Soto shotgun.
Yeah. You know, Tay, I direct this question to you before we move off the NFL. Saying what you said about Saquon, and, you know, you obviously were speaking glowingly about him. I take it you're not on Tiki Barber's side after the comments that he made about Saquon.
That was so. I felt like
Barkley.
that was so unfair, and I feel like I'm one of those people who feel like people put so much stock into players being loyal to franchises, right? This franchise was not loyal to Saquon. The writing was on the wall last year when they didn't choose him for the tag, and he was still willing, and still wanted to be a New York Giant. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would have taken that disrespect and been like, that's what I would have.
I don't agree with you, Shaq. I don't think that Chiefs defense was that good.
No, it was actually very good. It was much better than they had been for recent seasons.
I'm just saying it didn't get really good until like towards the end. I give you that.
I still don't think that. I don't think
it was the best. Like, I've seen better. Especially with Andy Reid there. I've seen better at they.
I feel like Mahomes put the games on his back towards the end of the playoffs. I feel like we haven't really had an episode since the Super Bowl. Well, I haven't really been on one since the Super Bowl. So a lot of times, like, you guys didn't hear my takes on it. I feel like Mahomes kind of had a stellar year as best as he could. Kelsey was not himself.
Shockingly.
The entire season. You get what I'm saying? They pulled off that win by the absolute crack of their ass.
You know what's
just being real.
You know what's interesting, Matt?
What's up?
You know what's interesting, Matt? The Chiefs actually had the second ranked defense in the NFL. When you look at total defense last year, they only allowed 289.8 yards per game.
I don't want to hear that. Shop it. All right, I'm dropping off this episode. That's the weird. Y'all are just so bizarre.
What's up with you?
You really don't get how bizarre that is.
What's so bizarre?
It's very bizarre. Like, it's so weird. It's cringe.
What is cringe about? Like, what's up with you?
In the building. That just sounds like cringe.
You gotta relax. Like, it's a brotherhood. You gotta.
Yeah, but all right, do that amongst your private chat. Nobody know what y'all. Let me tell you something. Y'all haven't had an episode in like 4 months. So, like, nobody really, like, it's a fleeting dream.
I think we were live a couple of weeks ago. What you talking about?
No one knew about it. The only person who knew about it was y'all 5 or 6 or 12 or how many people was in this empty ass barbershop. Call it Supercuts.
There's a lot of people on that.
Yeah.
Call it
the
wild, bro. What is up?
What's it called? Lemon Tree?
You gotta relax.
Lemon Tree. You all right? It went viral with your 8 viewers. Okay, sorry.
You gotta relax.
Don't show me another comment.
Bring it.
Who is this person? I have a feeling I know who this is. Tribal Chief Zoe. Is that what's his name? Ronald? Randolph.
You gotta relax.
Well, listen, we are here for the
okay. No, listen,
take here for the shop.
I don't want to hear nothing about this. I think y'all need to leave me alone. I don't go on y'all show. Don't come on mine.
Tay
I had to mute here. Eric on. He keep trying to talk. Shut up, Pete. Give me a second. I'm saying something. Eric keep posting on Facebook so much that I had to block him. I had to mute him from my timeline because every time I'm looking at my timeline, it's a post from him. And I'm like, this is the most ludicrous nonsense that the Queen has ever seen. And it'd be things that just don't make no sense. And then he's like, oh, bestie. Off is the way you can go fuck, bro.
Yo.
I'm standing on my chaos.
Oh, man.
Like,
bestie.
Yeah, all the bestie, and this is my friend. I'm like, he like, hey, friend. I'm like, you know what? Every time it was coming up so much on my timeline that I was starting to get notifications about it. So the Queen does not like that. So the Queen was like, you know what? We can still be friends, bruh. But that unfollow button was real strong.
Oh my God.
And he was the final straw was the third comment. He said about who do I have a crush on? Something like that. And it was like the third person to comment. And of course, I'm an idiot with nothing else to do that day because I was a little bored. So I said, who he got a crush on? And then he gonna tag himself. I was like, you know what? In that moment,
I saw that post.
I was like, you know what? I thought to myself, I said, self, I ain't got time for this today.
You cursed him out, didn't you?
No, I just pressed unfollow. So I didn't know when y'all had another shop discussion to talk about stuff that whine and cry about stuff that nobody knows anything about. And then
Grizz is in the South, man.
And the 8 viewers that you have is yourselves. That is the best part.
That's crazy.
It's like y'all be recording from your one phone and then watching from your computer or in another browser. So
what you talking about?
That's what I think about the shop.
Wow, just disrespectful. Like,
yeah, y'all didn't have to come on my show.
I'm just saying, like, me and Dre are in the shop. Like,
well, y'all are in Yerrr. Y'all put more energy to the shop than you do Yerrr. So this is the energy you're going to get from the big dog. Big dog plays no games. It is. If it wasn't for Pete and me pushing, like, we wouldn't have had an episode since, like, because Dre went MIA. I don't even know where he is. He's on YouTube, apparently. But I bet if it was the shop, y'all would sit there and be like, oh, Lemon Tree cuts $5. And, we want to talk about our feelings and why black women don't do this. And why y'all don't listen to our emotions and all stuff like that. Like, nobody ain't got time for that. Bye. Off.
Gotta relax.
Wait, defend our honor? Not on my show. Do that on the shop. When y'all record the next time, what is the summer special? Because y'all do like an episode once a quarter. So what, the summer edition, y'all gonna address this? Not the we come in peace. Stop showing me these comments. I don't want to see it. I'm not giving your show free publicity.
While we have determined, of course, that Tay
Stop telling me to relax because this can really get hotter than a pipe in a crack house.
What's with you in the crack house?
Listen, I don't know, but while we've determined that Tay is definitely no fan of the shop, we are definitely a fan of all of our. Yeah, we are fans of all of our viewers on Twitch. Thank you for all of you watching on Twitch. Thank you for all of you watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on all of our platforms right now. Yes, except for Dre.
He could have snapped on for like 2 seconds to be like, "Hey, God, it's Big Baby."
I'm mad you gave the fat Albert. That's crazy. It's Big Baby. You gave the fat Albert voice. Yo, you got it. That was wild. That's crazy.
Not Tay coming for Dre like Republicans come for Joe Biden. Anyway.
At least I would say these guys are competent and conscious.
Out here on the Let's Go Brandon train with Dre. But let's kind of switch gears for a moment. I'm sure y'all both heard what's happening.
And Pete,
in the summer.
Didn't you say you wanted to do a baseball show? You announced this whole baseball thing a couple of months ago, and the baseball season hasn't started or something like that. I ain't seen no show.
No, spring training is currently in swing right now. We are just figuring out scheduling. We're just figuring out scheduling between the jobs, but we're ready to go once we decide on a day and time.
Last time I checked.
Yeah. Well, the season hasn't started yet, thankfully. But we will be dropping something very, very soon.
Stop showing me these people's comments. Thank you.
Yeah. But I heard y'all. I know y'all both heard about the big, big, big fight coming up this summer, July 20th, from AT&T Stadium, Jerry World. The big fight on Netflix.
Pete versus
9-1. The 9-1 Jake Paul goes one-on-one against 57-year-old boxing legend Mike Tyson.
Let me tell you something. The one thing I would say about this, and I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. Okay. Have you guys been seeing the Mike Tyson training videos?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if it's a draw, or if Jake Paul does not get his ass knocked out, or he wins, I'm going to know 150% sure that this is a scam.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, and we would never speak about this again. Ever. It'll be like those pyramid schemes that everybody wanted. You don't remember when you would become friends with somebody from your high school who did not talk to you in high school, but they wanted to become your Facebook friends. And next thing you know, they're giving you whatchamacallit. They're trying to sell you like NutraFit.
Ask you to come to your house.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I want to talk about this business, and I have my second business, and so I'm like, oh, here the fuck we go.
What about the trip scheme? Where they trying to like, yeah, everybody get a BMW. I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it.
This is like a sports pyramid scheme.
Wait, Mary Kay's is a pyramid scheme?
I thought it was.
Mad people that do it.
Yeah, because people like makeup, but at the end of the day, they're like, oh, if you sell $150,000, you'll get yourself a car.
Yeah,
but you need to buy all that makeup.
Yeah, but you got to buy all that makeup.
Yeah, you got to buy all of it and then sell it.
Be that like consistent with it. Like anybody got time for that shit. But
I know someone who made $1 million back in the day selling Tupperware. Because you do Tupperware parties.
That was a 90s thing. The last time I remember the Tupperware parties was from Edward Scissorhands.
I know somebody who made $1 million selling Tupperware. Which, by the way, I didn't realize until I was a full-grown adult that Tupperware was actually a brand and not a thing. Like, I thought everything was Tupperware because I just thought that's what it was called. But I didn't realize it was actually a brand called Tupperware. There is official Tupperware.
How do we get here?
I don't know, but back to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Matt, who you got? Matt?
I'm with Tay. If Mike Tyson don't knock out Jake Paul, I would hit nothing. His career is not damaged. I'm not gonna look at Mike Tyson any different. I'm just gonna look at it like my man broke and he needed the money. That's how I'm gonna look at it. It's because ain't no way in hell. No way.
What? Okay, so
Jake Paul is knocking out Mike Tyson.
Legit question. I shit you not. We're watching the fight July 20th. And what if legitimately, Jake Paul. Yeah, but I was trying to say Jake Paul and legitimately at the same time. So I got legitimately. Anyway, what happens if Jake Paul legitimately knocks out Mike Tyson? I mean, he throws that one punch and catches him.
There's no such thing.
What if Jake Paul pulls a Buster Douglas?
Nope. It's blasphemous. Happening. It's fixed. Mike Tyson survived crack. I think he can survive Jake Paul. I'm sorry. This is my opinion. Robin Givens, crack, and Don King. He survived it all.
Chael Sonnen, former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen, has said that Tyson's faking his workout videos.
I wouldn't doubt it. I heard the last time somebody seen him really come to a fighting event, he's walking with a cane. So again, this is what I'm saying. I think this is it might be a money grab. I don't see why he's 58 and he's about to be 58. By the time they step in the ring, he will be 58.
And Jake Paul's 27.
Yeah, I feel like it's a money grab.
Jake Paul is 9-1. Jake Paul's 9-1. His only loss was a fight against Tommy Fury.
Whipped his ass.
He has 6 knockouts in his 9 victories. Tyson 50 and 6.
Should have won that fight. The Tommy Fury fight. He should have won that fight. It's my opinion.
Well, a lot of people say that as well about Tyson's last fight. For those of you who don't remember, Tyson retired in 2005 after losing to Kevin McBride, a little-known Irish fighter. Tyson was ahead in the scorecards for the first 6 rounds. Tyson ahead in the scorecards for the first 6 rounds, and then just didn't answer the bell for the 7th round.
He was tired.
And then the last time everybody saw Tyson, of course, in 2020, when he fought Roy Jones Jr. for an 8-round exhibition, and they went to a draw.
That's what you want to call it? He washed Roy Jones Jr. Okay, nobody said he washed Roy. We all was upset. The highlight of that we ain't gonna talk about the highlight of that night because rest in peace, Aaron Carter.
Well, like you said, Matt, right? What is it gonna say on the Wikipedia when you look it up? What does it say? Just like it says Kenny Pickett playoffs, it says Tyson Roy Jones Jr. draw.
I don't even think they're gonna count that shit. That was bullshit.
Well, no, it's an exhibition. It's not counted against his win-loss.
Yeah. Tyson fucked Roy Jones Jr. I don't kill nobody else. And if you in the comment, if you watching this show and you watch that fight, tell me who won that fight between Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Because Tyson fucked Roy Jones Jr. up. I was sitting there like, yeah, he really forgot. Not Tyson. Roy Jones Jr. forgot. He really forgot. Y'all remember that song? Y'all must have forgot. Yeah, he forgot. He forgot.
But
Tyson knocking
Matt,
motherfuckers out.
I know you say it's blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
I know you say it's blasphemous, but what does this do for Jake Paul's career? If Jake Paul does pull a Buster Douglas, if Jake Paul legitimately knocks out Mike Tyson,
it helps his career. It makes it seem like he can say with only what 2 or 3 people have ever said that they knocked out Mike Tyson.
Hey, do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? Can Jake Paul pull a Buster Douglas?
I'm not even entertaining that thought. I told y'all I stand on business. I said what I said. Let me tell you something. If Mike Tyson stumbles, if he trips, if he stumbles, I'm gonna know that this is rigged.
It's fixed.
Period. It's deeper than just fixed. It's a scam.
I mean, real talk.
And I don't like being scammed.
Yeah.
And knowing I'm being scammed. That brings out an evil side of me, bro. If I know you trying to scam me, nah.
Nah, it's not it. And I'm just saying, us in our club, would you take a hit from Mike Tyson?
No.
I got asked the question.
No.
If I paid you $800 million, would you get a right hook from Mike Tyson? I said, fuck no, I'm good. Like I'm good. Ain't no telling if that's the one shot that finishes me. People can die from getting hit. Hold on. What is up with y'all?
I am kind of sad though that unfortunately Mills Lane, I don't know if you remember that man, Mills Lane, unfortunately won't be there to witness this, to referee this. Mills Lane, a famous boxing referee who many of you might remember as the referee from the Celebrity Deathmatch show, but also a famed boxing referee for many heavyweight fights. But it's going to be very interesting. Do you how many buys do you think this gets? I mean, I know it's on Netflix, so I know technically it's free. But like, if this was on pay-per-view, well, yeah, but like, if this was on pay-per-view, Tay, like, let's go back to the 2000s, to the 90s when boxing was that Friday night, Saturday night pay-per-view. If Jake Paul, Mike Tyson was a pay-per-view fight, do you think it sells pay-per-views?
Yeah. People love Jake Paul. People love Mike Tyson. So I could see that.
Matt, what do you think? Would this sell out a sports bar? Oh, Matt busy. So what you're saying, Tay, is we all going to go to Legends, watch Jake Paul, Mike Tyson?
I'm not going to Legends for anything.
These kids are driving me crazy. They fight over Georgia.
Imagine going to Legends.
Wait, what? What are we talking
about? If this was the late 90s, early 2000s, and boxing was still on pay-per-view, does Jake Paul, Mike Tyson sell out on pay-per-view?
No. Hell no. Because nobody's going to believe that fight. Nobody's trusting that fight. We're all sitting there saying the same thing. If Jake Paul beats him, it's fixed. Mike Tyson, why is Mike Tyson doing this? He must need money. I'm not supporting it.
But I think that's why people would watch it, right? People would watch it because, like, I want to see if Mike Tyson still got it. I want to see Mike Tyson kill this man. And then you're going to have a bunch of people wanting to watch it to see if, like, there's no way that Jake Paul wins this. And then I think you also have a bunch of people who are just watching it because it's Jake Paul.
I'm not watching it for Jake Paul. Hell,
I want to know how much Netflix paid for that fight.
I'm not watching it because of Mike Tyson. I'm watching it because it's free. I mean, and I probably won't have nothing going on that night, if you really want to be honest.
When is it?
Sometime in July.
July 20th.
I probably won't be here. I'll probably be on somebody's island.
I'll probably be studying.
It's a $300 million fight.
No.
Yeah. It's a money grab.
$300 million. Talking about a money
this might
grab.
Be the last one though, because people. Let me tell you something. If it don't go the right way, people would not rock with it no more.
Well, I mean, I don't see people really rocking with it after the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul thing was. Everybody was kind of looking at it sideways, like he's playing with him. The whole pause. We watching the whole fight. We're like, yo, he's playing with.
Why
him.
was the pause necessary?
I'm just.
You're describing something as a sports person. You are
saying.
A journalist, so you have to say pause. The moment you say pause, you compromise your credibility as a journalist. Just so you know. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh well.
I mean, Dwight Howard's not here, man.
He was playing with him. You watched the fight? Any of y'all watched that fight? The Logan Paul.
I saw clips on
Floyd Mayweather was toying with him.
Yeah, Sam.
Floyd Mayweather was toying with him. It was like after the third round, I'm saying, like, why am I watching this?
It's because he thought Logan Paul was a book. That's why. He was toying with him the same way he toys with the pages in a book because he can't read.
You say that, and my daughter's right here playing with the toy, like playing with the pages in the book. Y'all.
But at least your daughter can read. Floyd Mayweather can't read.
No, he can't.
This is what we doing.
Matt, your daughters are smarter than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Because they can read. He can't.
Trying to get me caught up out here. I'm good. They could read. Stop.
But talking about money grabs and scams, let's talk about the NBA play-in. The play-in games and the state of the NBA. Tay, I don't know if you heard what Charles Barkley said on TNT a couple of nights ago when they were talking about the Warriors and the Lakers making the playoffs. And Charles Barkley basically called the play-in a scam.
It is.
Yeah. He called the play-in a scam. He called it as nothing more than a way for the Warriors and the Lakers to still be able to get in. Because Shaq said the Warriors and the Lakers still have a shot at getting into the playoffs. And Barkley said they didn't. And Shaq said they did. And Barkley asked him how. And he said the play-in. LA is currently 9th in the West and Golden State's 10th in the West. And Barkley basically just shaded the entire, not only the play-in, but also shaded ESPN, talking about how, like, everybody on ESPN just talking about the Lakers and the Warriors, when they ain't got no shot.
They are. They are. He's not lying. He's dead ass serious.
My first question, is the play-in a scam?
I've been said that. When they first announced it, like Yerr's been, it's crazy. Yerr's been around this whole time, from the beginning of the play-in. But yeah, I said it from gate. It does not make sense. So you're giving chances to teams that pretty much didn't do nothing. You're giving them a chance towards the end of the road to pull something out of a hat. Now, granted, we haven't seen. Honestly, we have seen a play-in team go to the finals. Miami made the finals playing from the play-in. Like, realistically speaking,
wasn't that the bubble? That was the bubble Miami, right?
No, that was the second one. The second time they made the
the second one.
Yeah, they beat when they beat Boston and they beat Milwaukee because Giannis got hurt. Yeah, I was befuddled. The whole everybody was talking about playoff Jimmy and Jimmy really going to carry the Renaissance team all the way to the finals, but they met the right team. Just like everybody was saying.
The Nuggets. This was the Miami Denver series.
Yeah.
Last year.
Was it last? It damn sure was last year, was it? It was last year.
Yep.
Yeah. And they were washing Boston, and everybody was sitting there like, yo, how they was up like 3-0. It's like it was up like 3-0, and Boston crept back in, and then Jason Tatum got injured like the first 10 seconds of game 7, and it was over from there. Hey, like the playing is I get it. It's for money. It's making the league more. It's making the league more money. It's giving these television platforms more money. But I 100% agree with Charles Barkley, and that hurts my heart to say it. But it's a scam. It's to give these teams that generate the most money for these brands the opportunity to continue to keep playing towards the end of the season. We all know as long as you got Steph Curry and as long as you got LeBron James, you have a shot. You 100% legitimately have a shot. Like, we knew that Lakers team was trash last year, and they made it to the conference finals. So he's not lying. He's telling 100%.
Interestingly enough, though, that's not the reason the NBA gave as to why they started the play-in. The reason the NBA gave is because they felt like too many teams were tanking at the end of the season, trading off pieces at the end of the year because they knew by the All-Star game that they were completely out of it. But with the play-in, it allows for more teams to still have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, thereby making less teams sellers at the trade deadline, meaning that more teams remain competitive throughout the entire season.
Tell me anything that you want me to hear. Tell me anything. Anything that you think I want to hear it. All of it. Because that's what I get from the NBA. That's what I got when it came into the end-season tournament. Because it really showed no valid point for it to exist.
Right now the Lakers are 9th in the West, 500. They're 12-20 away from the crypto.com arena. And the Golden State Warriors are 10th place, 34-31, only 3 games over 500. And they're 500 at home and only 3 games over 500 on the road. Are either one of these teams legitimate playoff contenders outside of the play-in?
No. They're washed.
100%.
So you're going to tell me the Golden State Warriors traded for Chris Paul for nothing, Tay? For nothing?
I said that. I said it from the beginning of the season. Y'all just, y'all got all excited. And I said, what did I say? I said, this is not 2010.
Excited?
I remember. The Queen always remembers.
Whew. I knew Chris Paul was going to curse.
You know what's interesting, though? Here's what's interesting. We say that and Tay, that's why I asked Tay's question as the lead-in, right? The Lakers, Tay said the Lakers, and both of you, Matt, as well, said the Lakers and the Warriors are not legitimate playoff contenders outside of the play-in, right? As the number 9 and 10 team right now in the West. But you know who's the 7th and 8th seed in the West right now? The Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. The Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and all these star players at 39 and 28. And the Dallas Mavericks at 38 and 29 with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting 35 threes a game. Those are your 8th and 9th seeds right now.
Matt, wait, Pete, you were directing that question to Matt, right? Not me.
I knew this was coming.
Well,
to Matt,
it's open to the floor.
No.
The
Lakers, how dare I? Hold on.
I felt it in my chest. I knew
how dare I deny Matt a chance to talk about his favorite players in the league, from
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving
to Kyrie Irving to Luka Doncic. Please, Matt, the floor is yours. I will put myself on mute. Hold on 1 second.
What is the question?
Pete wants to know why how good are they doing, Matt? Phoenix Suns championship contenders or not?
Technically, the Suns are only 3 games ahead of the Lakers, Matt, and the Mavericks are only 2 games ahead of the Lakers. And if you think of the Warriors, the Suns and the Mavericks are only 4 and 3 games ahead of them. So the Suns and the Mavericks in the same boat as the Lakers and the Warriors. If both you and Tay said that the Warriors and the Lakers are not legitimate playoff contenders outside of the play-in, are the Suns and Mavericks also not legitimate playoff contenders right now?
I believe they are. I believe Dallas is a threat to any team. And my reason for being that is Luke is a killer. He's done far much more with less. We've seen it. We've 100% seen it. Phoenix, I'm kind of wary about, but if you put them in the right situation at the right time and you get all three of them on the floor at the same time so we can actually see what they're worth, who knows? And I don't ever count out Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. So there's that. So I mean, my only issue would be if they were to play up against Denver off back. And I feel like even that would be a competitive series, but I still would give the edge to Denver. Are they a playoff threat?
Well, right now, if this was under the old system, that's what would happen. If this was under the old system, Matt, if this was under the old NBA playoff system, the Dallas Mavericks right now would be your number 8 seed, and they would play the Denver Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs. And the Phoenix Suns would be your 7th seed, and they would play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of the playoffs.
I like their chances with both teams. I like Dallas. I feel like Dallas does match up well against Denver, because your main 2 defenders is Aaron Gordon and what's his name? Mike. What is his name? I can't think of his name. But Joker's food down low, and you have two players that are more than capable of getting to the rack. And you can't really do nothing with them on a defensive end. Like they can't guard either one. I mean, same can be said about Joker, right? So I feel like they match up well, but I will still give the edge to Denver because they've been here before. They are a more complete team. They are very well coached, and they have home court advantage. So I would give that edge to Denver. Now, Phoenix and OKC. OKC is a relatively young team.
Who is also 27-7 at home and only has 20 losses overall the whole season.
Yeah. Playoff basketball speaks for a different atmosphere, and they've never been there before. So there's that avenue. And damn, they got second that quick. Minnesota
they're only a half. They're only a half a game behind Denver. Denver is 47-20. Oklahoma's 46-20. They are a half a game out
like
of first.
4 days ago, Minnesota was the number 1 team in the Western Conference. I know Cat got hurt, but damn, they got out of the first seed that quick. They like third now?
They're third, 45-21. They're a game out of second and a game and a half out of first.
That's crazy.
And then the number 4 team is the Clippers. The 5 team is the Pelicans. And the 6th seed is the Kings.
That's a new
like I said, under the old system, the Dallas Mavericks would play Denver Nuggets, the Suns would play Oklahoma, the Kings would play Minnesota, and the Clippers would play the Pelicans.
So I mean, like I said, I stand by it. I feel like
that's under the old system.
I feel like if the Mavericks is healthy, they will give Denver a series. I feel OKC versus Phoenix. If all 3 players are playing and they're healthy, I wouldn't count Phoenix out. Just being realistically. Because this is the same OKC team that got swept by the Lakers, and we see where the Lakers are at.
Well, we in the West right now, the top 3 seeds are very hotly contested. As we said, it's a game and a half separates first from third. But in the Eastern Conference, it's an entirely different story. The number 1 seed in the East, the Boston Celtics, first off, they haven't even gotten 20 losses yet. The only team in NBA with less than 20 losses. They are 52-14. They've already clinched the playoff spot. They are 30-3 at home in Boston. That's right, 30-3 at home. And they have a 9.5 game lead over the number 2 seed, Milwaukee Bucks. That is how big that is. By the way, by comparison, the entire distance from first place to 8th place in the West is 9 games. It would take you less games to get from 8th to 1st in the West. In the East, you would still be a half a game out of first, even if you went on a 9-game win streak and the Celtics went on a 1 game and lost 9 games. Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, the Knicks, Orlando, Indiana are your top 6, with Miami, Philly, Chicago, and Atlanta bringing up the rear. What's your take in the East?
I feel like Boston still has to show me something.
With less than 20 losses on the season?
Yes, that's the season. They always play good in the season. The last 3 seasons, they played great in the season, and they've shit the bed in the playoffs. We just talked about how they were down 3-0 to Miami, climbed it back into the series, got to a game 7, and shit the bed in game 7. Granted, Jason Tatum got hurt, but I think the real question here is, when it comes to Boston, is why is Jason Tatum the it guy when Jaylen Brown is the one that literally saves them every chance they every time they fall into some bullshit? Is it just me that notices that, or like I feel like that's the main question. He deserved his contract, and Jason Tatum's about to get paid a lot more than that coming up in the upcoming off season. But I feel like Jason Tatum has not proven this big contract that he's about to get. And this will be the ultimate test. You're what you just said, you're 9 games ahead of everybody of the second seed, right?
9.5.
So you're looking at, who the hell would they be playing? The East is so washed, I don't really even know who's the bottom
right
half.
now. Under the old system, they would be playing the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round if we were talking about the old system of the NBA. But right now they have a chance of playing anybody between Miami, Philly, Chicago, or Atlanta.
They want to see all those teams except for Miami, realistically speaking. You take your chance with Philly. Why? Because Joel Embiid is wavered. He's coming back from an injury, or he's not coming back from an injury. I don't even know if they even ruled in favor of which way they're going with Joel Embiid, because I know he had a meniscus tear. I don't know if it's a tear or he just got it repaired, so I don't really know where they're going with that. Similar to what Cat is going through right now. But Philly is injured. Chicago is weak. You said Atlanta too?
Atlanta and the Bulls.
In all honesty, bro, is there any fear when you hear Chicago or Atlanta?
No, not at all.
Hey, you? Because you any fear in your heart when you mention Chicago, who's also going to be rebuilding after this season because they're getting rid of everybody, and Atlanta with Trae Young and Devontae Murray?
They had a good year and then faded into obscurity.
Exactly.
Afterward, I think the best teams in the East are the Celtics, the Bucks, maybe.
I don't even count the Bucks.
And the Celtics, the Knicks,
and Cleveland.
The Cleveland too, and that was a team that I told people not to sleep on from the beginning. The Knicks, when they're healthy, they're a powerhouse, but they haven't been healthy these past couple of months. So what you're seeing is a result of the injuries.
Yeah.
So I felt that the Knicks were the best team in the Eastern Conference December, January, early part of January, leading into before Brunson got injured. But still remains to be seen. The East is heads and shoulders ahead of the freaking West.
Boston. It's not a better. It's not a way. There's no better road for any team in playoffs than Boston. Their only real
They
competition.
have 4 games left on their schedule that I could see them losing. Just 4.
Okay, but what I'm saying is in the playoffs, 7-game series, there's no team that I see even scratches the earth of giving them competition but Miami and the Knicks. And they both have to be
Yeah,
healthy.
I think Boston's biggest challenge is going to come in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they've lost.
No. Might be the second round. Because they might see the Knicks or the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right now, Boston's remaining schedule, they play Washington, Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta twice. They play a game against New Orleans. They play Charlotte twice. They play Portland. They play the Knicks near the end of the year on Thursday, April 11th. But the only 4 games that I see giving them any trouble for their remaining schedule is this upcoming Wednesday against Milwaukee, Wednesday, April 3rd against Oklahoma City, Friday, April 5th against Sacramento, and then Tuesday, April 9th near the end of the season against Milwaukee one last time. They've got 2 more games against Milwaukee. They've got a game against the Knicks, their third to last game of the season. And then they play Sacramento and Oklahoma City on a Wednesday and a Friday. That's it. That's all I think the Celtics have left. Listen, the Celtics could finish this season, if they keep playing the way they're playing, with less than 20 losses.
Put your name out here, man.
Shout out to our viewers from Texas.
Thank you.
But yeah, they could finish the season with less than 20 losses. Even if they lose all 5 of those games, the 2 games against Milwaukee, the game against the Knicks, the game against Sacramento, and the game against Oklahoma City. If they win every other game except those, they finish with 19 losses on the season. That's ridiculous. I don't know. And you know what's interesting about the interesting thing about the Boston Celtics, the only big move that they made going into the season was adding Kristaps Porzingis.
Drew Holiday.
Wasn't Holiday trade deadline?
Drew Holiday, they got Drew Holiday in the beginning of the season.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
So you got Holiday and you got Porzingis.
Yeah, it was a great pick. Porzingis on the sense of now you have Al Horford coming off the bench versus starting, and you're keeping him healthy to when you're really going to need him, which is in the playoffs, right? Drew Holiday, you have a dog that replaces the Marcus Smart aspect. So it's like, I mean, Boston did not. They lost Marcus Smart and gained everything they needed. They got scoring power, they got more shooting, they got rebounding, and they got blocking ability. They are demons on paper. On paper, they are demons. Through the season, they have been demons. Granted, they've had a couple games where you're just looking at them like, really? You should be playing a lot better than that. And especially when they don't have Porzingis, they get exposed a lot more, right? But Drew Holiday is really starting to fit in a lot more, right? Jason Tatum is still Jason Tatum, but again, the real MVP of that team to me is Jaylen Brown. And I don't feel like he's talked about enough. I feel like all the attention goes to Jason Tatum when, in all honesty, I feel like Jason Tatum has so much to prove when it counts. He needs to show up and show the fuck out in the playoffs. Until he does that, I'm always going to be wary with Boston. You're going to come up against teams that want it more than you. And y'all have been to the dance, so nobody should want it more than y'all. Especially losing to Golden State. Nobody should want it more than y'all. Jimmy Butler and the G League should not be beating y'all in the 7-game series. That makes 0 sense. So now y'all have all the weapons needed to compete against Denver. If there's any team that matches up with Denver in the NBA, it is the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse for them to not make the finals. There's no excuse for them to even go 7 games with Denver if Denver makes it, barring injury and health. I don't have no faith in Milwaukee because of Doc Rivers. I said what the fuck I said. I'm not switching over that. It is what it is. Philly's hurt. New York is hurt. Cleveland still has a lot to prove, but yeah, they are scary. Do I see the Cleveland Cavaliers or Miami or Milwaukee beating Boston in a 7-game series? Not really. Not really. It's going to take a whole hell of a lot because there's too much weapons in that green Irish uniform. Shout out to St. Patrick's Day. So I mean, it's up to y'all. I don't know. Like, Tay, what do you see? Who do you see beating Boston?
The Knicks, if they're healthy.
I'm not mad at
Knicks.
it. I'm not mad at it.
If they're healthy, they can beat anybody.
I feel the same way because even with just Jalen Brunson, they almost beat Boston at full strength. Boston was full strength.
And the Knicks were limping.
Yeah. It didn't take till the last few minutes of the fourth quarter for them to run away with it. But it was a close game for three quarters. And I'm just sitting there stuck. Because my brother's sitting there telling me, like, yo, I feel like the Knicks are the most complete team in the NBA. I'm like, you got to relax. They're playing against the most complete team in the NBA. And he's literally going back and forth with me. And I couldn't really argue it too much because they were still in the game missing four starters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, 4 starters and they was competing with the Boston Celtics? That's crazy. And that's shit that makes you sit there and think. Like, are they really as good as they supposed to be on paper? I mean, Pete, what team do you got beating the Boston Celtics? Or you think it's a runaway train with them?
It's tough in the East. It really is. I think the only teams that can really match up with them right now are Milwaukee or the Knicks. But the Knicks would have to be – everyone has to be healthy, and they have to be firing on all cylinders for all 7 games because I don't think you beat the Boston Celtics in less than 7 games. They've got too much firepower in Tatum, Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, just right there alone. Yeah, and that to me is the thing. I mean, listen, the problem that the Boston Celtics have is the problem I think a lot of teams want to have. You can get beaten on any given night by any one of those players. Porzingis could go and drop 30. Tatum could go and drop 30. Brown can go and drop 30. Hell, Drew Holiday could have a resurgence and go ahead and drop 25, 30 points. Like, any one of these guys can legitimately take the game over. And what's good about that is Tatum can have a bad game and it can be completely silent because the Celtics can still do well and win because of everything else they have. Jaylen Brown could have a bad shooting game and Tatum and everybody will carry him. With the Knicks, if Brunson isn't having a good game, you have to hope that DiVincenzo is shooting. You have to hope that Precious Achiuwa is pulling in his double-double. Julius Randle, it is what, everybody on the Knicks team needs everybody else in order to really be great. If any one of them are having a bad game, it's a little bit too much to pile on the shoulders of everybody else. And I think that's where the Celtics, kind of get away with it. They have so many great players at so many different positions. It's not like they have a center who's just good, but is only going to get them 7 points. No, Porzingis can go and drop 20. I think the last time Porzingis played the Knicks and the Celtics played the Knicks, he shot went 7 for 7 from 3-point land.
Yeah, but they fall apart in the playoffs every single time, man.
It's good. Yeah.
Both teams, actually.
It's gonna be very interesting. Tay, do you have anything for tea time this week?
Let's get into it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. It's your girl, the queen, reporting from here, there, everywhere. Today, I am actually reporting from home. How's everybody doing tonight? The first thing I want to mention is shout out to Derrick Rose, who I'm hearing may be announcing his retirement pretty soon. Or did he not do that already? I forgot all about him. Well, shout out to Derrick Rose.
What's his face? Aaron Donald from the Rams. That's it so far.
We're talking about NBA. I don't know what you were. We're not even like we. Did we talk about Jason Kelsey? All right. So what I want to talk to you guys tonight about is inappropriate friendships when you're in a relationship. What type of friendships do you think are, if you have a platonic female friend, platonic male friend, and when you get into a relationship, your communication style with this person changes? Is it because you were acting inappropriately before you were in a relationship, or does it mean that now you're dating someone and you want to be within the parameters of your friendship or your relationship? What do you think, Pete? You're on mute.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time, Tay?
What the hell? All right.
Sorry. My apologies.
You want me to reset it? You want me to reset it?
Yeah, please. Let's start over. There's an old saying that says never make an Aquarius repeat something, because the next time it's not going to be that nice. It's going to be filled with curse words, right? Say if you have a friendship with someone, and you are both single, and you all of a sudden get into a relationship with someone else, right? And you really want this relationship to work, but your communication with your platonic friend changes, right? Is it because you were acting outside of the bounds of platonic friendship, or the person that you're dating may not appreciate the tone that you take with your platonic friend? What do you think that is? And what do you think are the unhealthy platonic parameters around relationships, and does that matter?
It's interesting that you bring this up, because actually my fiance and I were having a conversation about this earlier this week.
Yeah.
I think it's very complicated, right? Because speaking from the male side of things, like many times, a lot of the female friends we have are sometimes women that at one point we were interested in, but for one reason or another, for whatever reason, nothing ever happened, or something did, and you're no longer friends. In fact, if you watch Love is Blind season 6, gentlemen, don't bring women that you formerly slept with and are now friends with around new women.
This is what prompted my question.
So I actually had a situation this past week where an old friend of mine from college and I caught up, and we were joking around, just having a good time, whatever. And I had made a joke with them about this one point in college where they didn't talk to me for like a month, and I was like, I know you had a crush on me at that point because you didn't talk to me for a month because I was dating some other girl. And I relayed that statement to my fiance, because I don't hide anything from my fiance. Like, hey, I was catching up with a friend, blah blah blah, and
she wasn't happy about it.
And she wasn't happy about the fact that I had a conversation with an old friend. She didn't have a problem that I was catching up with a female, nothing like that. What she had a problem with was just like, well, why did you have to bring up the fact that you assumed or thought or may have known that this person had a crush on you at some point? And in my male brain, I was just like, well, it was just a joke. I wasn't really meaning anything by it, but I can understand where she would have been upset by that. I think, unfortunately, men, when we start commiserating with women on a friendly level, there's always this undertone of flirtiness. There's always this undertone of like, it's fun and games. But I think there's always like this back door, like I'm still gonna keep this flirty and kind of like fun because just in case she decides to change her mind, it's there. And then unfortunately, we get into relationships as men, and we don't realize that we can't keep those friendships on the same level. You can keep the friendship, but you have to change the way in which you interact with that person.
Why?
When I was single, because it's inappropriate to your relationship. For example, right? Is
it inappropriate unless you sleep together?
Just say, no, I think it's inappropriate. So, right. So let's say, for example, Tay, like you and I are not, we don't speak like this or whatever. But let's just say, we had known each other for years, and all of a sudden, and it was platonic, but we were like, there was always like that platonic flirtiness just as friends, right? Where it's just like, oh shit, Tay, that. Girl, your ass getting fat. Girl, you better watch yourself out there, right? Stuff like that, right? Now, all of a sudden, I'm in a relationship. You can't be commenting on another woman's body. You can't be making flirtatious comments, as innocent as they may be, with another female when you're in a relationship with a female. Because it's like, yo, why are you making those flirtations? What's the behind the scenes on that? Because the only reasons why I would be making those kind of comments is because I'm looking or I'm paying attention to it. It's a little weird. So I think, especially when you're a man, when you're single, listen, we have our fun and games. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be very careful how you interact with other people. Again, I think there is no problem with a man in a relationship having platonic female friends, but there is a problem in the way in which you communicate with those platonic female friends, because you could cross a line. Yeah, I think you shouldn't be able to. You want to make sure you don't cross a line that would make your partner uncomfortable. And I think the same thing goes for women, right? If as a woman you are friends with men platonically, right? You have to understand the boundaries of what's acceptable in terms of communication, with you communicating to that man or that man communicating to you when you're in a relationship, to respect the boundaries of your relationship.
I say nut up buttercup, because at the end of the day, I'm not the girl you got to worry about. Because if I wanted him, I would have been had him.
Nut up buttercup is wild.
Sorry, I gotta lose.
But
my
friend.
I gotta lose my friend. I gotta lose my friend because you.
No, I don't have to lose your friend. No,
and that's me personally. And I don't really ever side against women and stuff like this. And I am a girl's girl. I will tell you this: I'm a girl's girl. So it will take the strength of Hades for me to say a man is right in a situation. So for me, who interprets it as flirting? If my friend tells me I look good, right? Yo, T, you look good. How is that flirting? It was like,
no, that's not flirting, but I think if you
I had a situation where somebody I was dating had a female friend that. A female friend, I don't like the word female. A woman friend who he would comment on her appearance and stuff like that, because that was the dynamic that they had. I had to understand that as the person coming into this dynamic, that they had years of a bond before I got there. Like me personally, I try to befriend my male friends' girlfriend. As you guys know, I try to befriend or, be kind to the women that are in my platonic male friends' lives, right? But if the intention wasn't genuine on your behalf, and it was more than just, friendship and you let the ambiguity of your communication mess with the friendship, and then you pull back. What if I depended on that type of friendship, that type of validation between our bonds, right? And now because you got shorty on the right, I got to be like, oh, nah, I think it's whack, me personally.
So Tay, I'll ask you a question.
What's up?
Let's say let's say there's a dude that you meet, um, you date whatever, and when that person was single, they had a female friend, or they had a woman friend that they would go to the beach with them. Right? They'd go to the beach with them. They'd hang out, cool. Now you're in a relationship. Do you think it's still appropriate for that man and that woman to go to the beach by themselves together?
I do.
Communication is everything, Pete.
You know why I do? Because my thing is, it's like, I want to have loyal. I want you to be loyal without me having to be like, you can't do this. If I'm telling you as my partner that, okay, you can't go to the beach with your friend, like, that's weird, because I want the freedom to be able to do what I want to do, because with the boundaries or not, people are going to do what they want to do. If they want to be loyal to you, they'll be loyal to you no matter what circumstance they're put in. You get what I'm saying? It's not about the action. It's about the intention. Like, if you know that you're not supposed to be, in a bed cuddled up with your friend, I think that's kind of bizarre. That's something that I would kind of, pull a coat about. But hanging out with your female friends one-on-one, me hanging out with my male friends one-on-one, that should not change because I'm in a relationship. The tone in which I address you, it should be out of genuine love for you. And if I want to be nasty or ambiguous about our communication, that shows that your intention for me was not fully platonic. And that means now that you have somebody in your life, they fill that void that you wanted me to fill at some point. So your intentions was never felt really friendship. I'm just being honest. I've never been that insecure woman. Like, as long as never.
I mean, I'm glad you said insecure, but I mean, like, from what I view, I've had past, relationships where
same.
It's the same thing, and it's like, again, I have a lot of female friends, and individually we have like somewhat like what me and Tavia have, which is a brother sister. It's a brother sister relationship. So I get the phone calls about what's going on with them in their personal lives, and they want my opinion. Sometimes the women that I date are not comfortable with the fact of that availability for other people, especially if it's eating up the time that I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to create that boundaries in some aspect, but you also got to have that type of relationship with your significant other to where that security is held, to where because like Pete said, with his fiance, she's already secure in her relationship, so she's not sitting there like, oh, you're doing something. It was just like, why would you bring something else up? You're gonna make me. It's a side eye thing. Like, why would you do that? It make no sense because it's like, what's understood doesn't need to be explained, and I'm learning that trait. I'm guessing, but I'm so pre-notion to like, all right, a lot of women are insecure or they don't feel secure with who they're with. So sometimes I catch myself going above and beyond to try to make sure that the person that I'm with is secured and not thinking that I'm doing something crazy because of all the female friends that I have. So I don't know. Why is that a big issue? I wish it wasn't. Personally, you would have to do something to me in order for me to sit there and look at you like, oh, I don't trust that friendship between you and boy. But not everybody.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. And it wasn't, and what messes me up about it, the ones that gave me the biggest grief about my platonic male friends were the biggest cheaters. which was bizarre to me because we never, I never, if I know somebody has feelings for me in a romantic way and I'm not reciprocating those feelings, I'm not going to keep them that close. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt. But when I was in my last relationship, I had a platonic friend. You guys know, I have a platonic friend who I see as like a brother, and his attentiveness to me, and it was, I never saw anything other than platonic. He never gave off anything other than platonic, never complimented me, nothing like that. My ex was very disturbed by him. And that to me was more of a sign of insecurity in him.
Territorial too.
Yeah, than anything me and this guy was put, because we never talked late at night. He never called my phone. We always talked through DMs in reasonable hours. But if any of my male friends or female friends call me, my phone is always open. But the thing is, it's such a double standard, because what if I had a lesbian best friend, which I had? And what if she called me all the damn time? But why? Because apparently I'm not gay. It's not a problem. It's still inappropriate to some people.
Yeah.
Just being real. I mean, if you really want to get technical. And me, I'm flirtatious by nature. And I don't even notice it. I compliment everybody the same way I compliment and the same way I diss. They're equal. And I'd be damned if, because he got a new girlfriend, like my male best friend can't be there for me. That's weird.
Oh,
that shows me that she's an idiot.
This is happening. This is happening right now, I guess.
I'm just saying in general.
Oh.
I was watching, no, we were talking about Love is Blind.
Even though that's talking about this damn show, I gotta watch it.
I felt that situation was inappropriate because they had slept together. Oh. You get what I'm saying? Like, once you sleep together, now me, I'm a different beast. I could, sorry mom, sorry dad, right? I'm so sorry for this, but I can see someone and then never think about them again. So, I mean, I'm still really good friends with one of my exes from 10 years ago. And I'll be damned if someone tells me that we can't be civil. There's of course a boundary, because we were exes and, you know, we were intimate at one point. But if he's gonna check on me to see how I'm doing, I'm gonna check on him to see how he's doing. I don't want none of that. I'm good. I've been there, done that. Like, I left it there. But when it comes to my platonic male friends, like, because I'm so there for y'all and this, that, and the third, like, a boyfriend may not like that, but then you know what? Then he's gonna have to go, because there's always bros over hoes, fam.
Kind of.
Chicks over dicks, fam.
Yeah.
Because what happens if y'all break up? You guys will have a bigger chance of breaking up than our friendship breaking up.
Boy, I had to experience that.
I mean, I'm just being real.
I had to experience that. Boy.
I'll have not your situation, P. I'm just saying in general. Like, y'all relationships have more of a chance than breaking up than our friendship. So you want to act all funny and brand new because you got shorty on the right. So look, let her do. Bye.
Yeah, I think one thing that my fiance has brought up is it's this idea of, like, she has experience and she's seen people where it's just like you have these women who, as like Tavia has said, like, oh, you know, I was here, boo boo, right? But like and I think this comes from the other woman's part, right? Like, you have those people who have been there, they've been the platonic friend for X amount of time, but they feel as if they should be valued as more important than the partner.
Ooh.
And that's, I think, where you run it. But no, there are women. There are women that'll be out there like, oh, I've been here for X amount of years. You just came around, like you said, similar to what you said. Like, y'all could break up, but our friendship ain't going nowhere. But they also consider themselves like. Right. And then you have these women who consider, like, well, I should be treated akin to or better than the partner, and or I should have the same kind of access outside of the intimacy to the male that the partner does. You know,
Yeah,
like
I agree with that.
you'll get dudes who was
I agree with that.
like, you know,
I'm more
they'll
important.
be home with their
I'm more important
you'll
until
get
she
dudes.
becomes your fiance. I'm more important than her until she becomes your fiance. Because everybody could be your girlfriend. I'm sorry. I know men right now with 3 girlfriends.
Lord,
I'm serious. So
I can
your
barely do
female
it one.
friend, until you are like for me, I don't consider it cheating until you're married, until you took vows, until you are on the road to getting married. Maybe I'm different. You know what I'm saying? But this day, like when women be like, "Oh well, that's my man. I've been with him for 3 years." Like, bitch, that's my man too. I've been with him for 2. So what makes you any more his girlfriend than me? That you've been putting up with his shit longer? I mean, just be real. But I'm just saying, like, as
No,
a
it's
friend,
because his penis is
I'm just
inside of
being,
him.
I'm just being real.
Are
Like,
we still
what
talking?
makes you? If he girl, he playing both of us. You know what I'm saying? But for me,
Are
when
we
it
still
comes,
talking about friendships?
but no, but it's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying in general.
Are you
For
talking about like
me,
side chick stuff?
no, but for me, let me be real with you.
Okay.
You have better chance of getting cool with that girl than alienating her. Because I love being friends with my friends' girlfriends and stuff. Because I'm a girl's girl at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And there's certain things because
Right.
if I like you, let me tell you something. If I like you and you embrace me, there are certain things I'm not going to allow him to do in front of me because I fuck with you. Now, if you alienate me from the equation now if he out there being a dog because I don't like you, I'm not saying that I'm gonna want him to disrespect me by doing it, but I'm not gonna be like, damn, yo, she a good girl. Like,
Now you just gonna be like, yo, you a foul nigga, man.
yeah,
Just like,
this is what you do.
yeah.
This what she going crazy over? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I said, that's why I always got cool with my boyfriend's friends, male and female. Because you would get more like me. I'm a girl's girl. There's been times when I've told my friends' girlfriends have asked me about my friends. I'm not gonna pull the whole facts, but I'm be like, focus on yourself, sis. Because I'm a girl's girl. And that wraps up Tavia's tea time.
Wow. It was a lot. That was a lot. I can attest to that. You are definitely a realist. You
I'm being real.
I know if I'm fucking up your tummy, I'm like, yo, Matt, you fucking up. Like you I mean, you told
Yo,
us.
get it. I'll be like, get it together quick. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And, you know, and am I outside of my boundaries as a friend because you may have a girlfriend or not? No.
Hmm?
And that's why I feel this is what me and my best friends were talking about this the other day. If you don't trust my intentions, why are you telling me your business? If you don't want me to have an opinion on your situation, if we're not that intimate enough as friends for you to trust me with the information that you are giving to me, why am I in your circle? And that goes for your girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Because I know how men are. If he wanted me and there was a mutual attraction there, we would have been together, whether you're in the picture now or not. Just being real.
Pete, bring us home, fam.
Listen, she's got a point. She's got a point, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Tavia's Tea Time. I seriously think Tavia should be given TED Talks all around the country.
I'm a realist. My
You know, that
sister
is
be
if
like,
she-
I'm so negative. I'm not negative. I'm a realist. I'm 40 years old. I've seen a lot of things. You get what I'm saying? I've experienced a lot of things. I'm somebody who believes in the validity of friendships. Because if we already locked in, right? So I'm always going to watch your back as a friend. And if we have that trust with each other, that there is, yo, you have no problem saying, yo, I love you. I have no problem saying, yo, you're the best in this and the third. But then that tone of conversation changes because you have a partner now. I'm not going to be your crutch. Period.
I understand that.
Period. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for once again joining us on the Yerrr Sports Show. As always, 25K Tay got the bankroll right this time. The Queen and BK Matt. Once again, the only man to not sign an RB contract in the 90s.
Happened in 09.
And we want to give a shout out to, though Tay gonna kill me for this one, give a shout out to Big Baby. Working hard on the YouTube right now.
He was making comments.
Thank you to no, he ain't making comments no more. Yeah. Thank you all y'all who watched. We'll be back. I believe we're gonna be back in 2 weeks.
Possibly, I think so. Might be.
Is that the plan?
Imagine you guys don't sound like you
2
have it
weeks.
together. We'll be back in the week after next. Like, apparently bi-weekly. Like, get the. I know y'all don't be showing up consistently. I just missed an episode because I was out of the country. I was actually 13 hours ahead. So, and with a concussion, so I really couldn't record to save my life.
Listen, not you getting into fights on a flight 13 hours.
Imagine I'm not professional enough to just keep myself together. I've been wanting to go to Australia my whole life. And I got concussed.
My dad just came back from Rome.
That's beautiful. I got concussed less than an hour from touching down.
Jesus.
Touching down is wild.
Yeah, I hit my
head
what you really hard. Remember.
Well,
Marion, what you want to eat?
Queen
you want a bagel? Like
for BK Matt, for Big Baby, who's not with us tonight. I am the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado. This is your sports show. Big shout out to Job Tears podcast and all the platforms on the Job Tears network, including Tay Don't Kill Me. The shop open for shop business.
Shop biz.
Yo, you keep proving that you're not a loyal friend, so you guys can go fuck off.
I gotta go plug everything. 2.5 Bros, Sasson Talk, the Job Tears podcast, and of course the Your Sports Show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Why is she like this? What is up with her? Jeez.
I gotta plug.